Hi guys, JB and Minot here. Yesterday was the second anniversary of the North American release for the 3DS, and so here's my 3DS collection. I've collected 106 of them over the past 2 years, so I really like the system. It started out really slow, but it's picked up over time, and I imagine it'll keep doing it, so here we go. I bought this at my BX for 69 bucks, Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. I'm still trying to figure, I haven't played it yet, but I'm just wondering if each different figurine starts a whole different game, or if it's basically the same game with a different character. So, we'll see, but nobody's been able to give me a straight answer on it. The Sims 3D. Ghost Recon Shadow Wars. This is kind of an Advanced Wars type game, only with you're manipulating soldiers and whatnot to do what you need them to do. It's a pretty fun game. I really enjoy it. It's a great game. I think it came out during the release. Rayman 3D. It's basically a DS 3DS version of Rayman 2, I believe. Mario Tennis Open. It's got the usual Mario challenges and whatnot. Beautiful looking game. Great graphics as per usual. Battleship, based off the movie, but this is kind of an Advanced Wars thing, only at sea. They say it's pretty good. The movie, they say, sucks. I still haven't seen it yet, don't intend to, but there you have it. Haven't played it yet. Kid Icarus Uprising. All the video game critics keep crying for a sequel to Kid Icarus. They've been crying for it ever since I've had the internet. They've been crying for it, and we got this. And it's not a bad looking game, but the controls absolutely suck. I mean, when they have to sell it with an accessory, you know, it just the controls suck. I don't care for the controls. If you got the patience for it, you might enjoy it. I don't. I think a game should be able to play right out of the box for your DS. You shouldn't have to have an accessory for it. That defeats the whole idea of mobile. But Gabrielle's Ghostly Groove. This is a rhythm game. Not a very good rhythm game. I think it kind of, you do the right thing and it doesn't acknowledge it, and so you got to keep playing certain levels over and over again. Just didn't really care for it. One of the lesser rhythm games I've ever played. Okay, The Adventures of Tintin, the game, based off the movie from Steven Spielberg. The movie wasn't bad, but I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel, but I wasn't really enamored by it. But I haven't played the game yet, but here it is. Puzzler Mind Gem 3D. This is kind of a Brain Age type clone. It's not a bad Brain Age, cheap Brain Age clone. I enjoyed it. Pac-Man and Galaga Dimensions. It's got Pac-Man, Pac-Man Tournament Play, and or Championship, and Galaga. It's also got a couple of new games. One's like a Pac-Man platformer where you tilt and turn the 3DS, and the Galaga, that's in a kind of a 3D type shooter. Super Monkey Ball 3D. They've had a Super Monkey Ball on every single console ever since the GameCube, and I've probably got all of them for the handhelds. I reviewed the Vita version a couple of months back. It was pretty fun. Dead or Alive Dimensions. This came out not too long after the Street Fighter 4 for the 3DS. I enjoyed this one just as much. I liked the story a little better, and you know, the fighting's intuitive. It's not too deep, but it's still fun. So, and no, I didn't enjoy it for the boobs. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy who lusts after a video game character or a cartoon character like some perverts out there do, and you know you do. From the movie, The Amazing Spider-Man. The movie was okay. I wouldn't mind seeing the sequel, but I haven't played the game yet. What I would love to see on a handheld, especially the Vita, would be a remake of the classic Spider-Man 2 game, which is basically an open-world Spider-Man game, which is a blast, and it looked good, and I'd love to see that. Okay, here we go with some more games. Cubic Ninja. It's basically a puzzle game where you turn and twist the 3DS to get a little square-shaped ninja out of a maze, and he's got to get past certain obstacles and whatnot. This came out, I believe, at release time. Bit Trip Saga. These are a collection of the Bit Trip games that came online. They're really simple graphics, but they're really tough graphics, but they're tough games to play. You gotta have a lot of dexterity, a lot of patience. I personally suck at them, but I still enjoy them. And they're still making Bit Trip games out there. Hopefully they'll have another sequel. They'll have a sequel to that coming out. I don't know if they ever will, though. Chronicle Samurai Warriors. You know it's not a new console out there without a Samurai Warriors game. Spirit Camera, The Hidden Memoir. I tried to play this for 5 minutes, but ironically, for a horror game, you have to have all the lights on for it to be usable, or else there is not enough lights for you to play it, because it involves the 3DS camera. Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Not my favorite Legend of Zelda game. It takes a little while to get started, and I still haven't been able to get a hold of that doggone horse. But other than that, it's a pretty good game. The graphics are beautiful. It's fun to play, and there you have it. Hopefully they'll release other old classic Legend of Zelda games. Hopefully not on the networks. You know, I like to get it on. You know, I'm a collector, so Shinobi. There's a game that you can download from the Apple Store, Shift, and its sequel, Shift 2. And this is a spin-off, Shifting World, which is slightly different. But you're trying to escape from these mazes. And it's all colored in black and white. And what you do is you press a button and they go from black and white to black. And they swap colors. And depending on how you swap colors, changes the dynamic of the environment so he can escape. And it's a pretty good puzzle game. I would love to have seen Shift 1 and Shift 2 on the actual cart with Shifting World. But if you like Shift, you'll like this game. Because I love the game Shift. I think it's a great game. Pac-Man Party 3D. It's a bunch of mini-games featuring Pac-Man and pals. It's got Pac-Man, Dig Dug, and Galaga in it as well, if you're into that. Which I am into Galaga, because I think Galaga is one of my favorite video games of all time. SpongeBob Squiggle Pants. I think these are mini games involving SpongeBob and his cast of characters. Dr. Lautrec and the Forgotten Knights. This is kind of a funky Professor Layton clone, only without the more intriguing puzzles, and it's just not as charming. I haven't really played it all the way through yet. I haven't even tried, really. One of the best puzzle games ever, and on the PSP, is Crush. This is Crush 3D. This is an adaptation of it's pretty much the same gameplay. What you're basically doing is you're trying to find these hidden memories, and in order to do that you have to change your environment from 3D to 2D sometimes, and it changes the way you move about, but and how you get to the memories. It's really, really excellent puzzle game. If you're a puzzle gamer, you'll love that game. Funky Bar 3D. Code of Princess. This is an excellent game from Atlas. It's a combination side-scroller and RPG. Also, throughout the game, there are like 50+ kit players that you can switch between. And I haven't gotten very far in it because it is a tough game starting out. But it's really fun. It's a beautiful game. It's got a great sense of humor about it. The dialogue's funny, even though I'm not really into that. But if you love fighting games and RPGs, you'll love this game. I would recommend it to anybody. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. This is a remake of an old Metal Gear game, but I found out they put it on the Vita as well. Had I known it was on the Vita, along with another game, Metal Gear Solid 3, I'd have gotten that one instead. But I like the Metal Gear Solid games, and this looks pretty good. Haven't quite played it yet. Spider-Man Edge of Time. Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition. It's a very fun fighter game. It's a blast to play, good looking. I still like the Dead or Alive version myself better. But this isn't bad. If you like fighting games, you'll love this game. Nikolai's Pencil Puzzle. Nikolai is a company out of Japan. They do crossword puzzles and stuff like that, like Sudoku and whatnot. In America, I guess their puzzles are called something different. You got Sudoku, but they also got bridges, boxes, and museum, which are which have different names, cooler names in Japan, but they're still great puzzles though. If you're a puzzle fan, Japanese puzzles, you'd love this game as well. Wipeout 2. And guys, I apologize for all the stickers on these things. It's kind of hard getting them off because apparently the glue they use, they make them from horses from outer space apparently. So they're just something about them. You can't just peel them off. I don't know why they torment their customers like that. Here's a game that's pretty good. It's a platformer. But it's pretty good. It's Cave Story 3D. I believe it's based on an online game, but it's still really good. A little bit harder than it deserves to be, but I still enjoy it. Here's an update of Centipede. Centipede Infestation. It's told from a third person's point of view, and you basically go through different stages in different environments, killing the bugs. Nothing special about it. Nothing innovative. You just shoot and kill for the most part. I got this game the first week of the 3DS's release, but I found it for $10 in a thrift store. Combat of Giants Dinosaurs 3D. And I imagine it's nothing more than an update of the regular DS version. Probably not much different. Driver Renegade. Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy. As you can see, the stickers of it, they put the stickers right over the title, so Pinball Hall of Fame, the Williams Collection. The Hidden. Apparently they use augmented reality. You use the camera to find things in the room. Haven't played it yet. Star Fox 64 3D. It's an adaptation of the Star Fox 64 game. Excellent, excellent game. Excellent shooter. Great graphics and everything. Awesome, fun game. I really enjoy it. Pilot Wings Resort. This is probably the first game I got for the 3DS. It's an adaptation of the pilot version of the flying game from Wii Resort and a few of the other games, but that's what that is. The only thing is, there should be more to it. There's not really much else to it but the flying game, but there should have been more. Still beautiful graphics though. 3D Firefighter. Crosswords Plus. Here's a remake. Tales of the Abyss. Tetris Axis. There's a collection of Tetris games, and I love Tetris, but this one somehow didn't grab me like the Tetris for the DS. It just, I don't know what it is, but I guess if you like Tetris you like this, but it didn't grab me quite like the other Tetris games. Tekken 3D Prime Edition. Rabbids Travel in Time 3D. It's a Raving Rabbids game, only it's a platformer instead of your usual assortment of simply mini games. Carnival Games Wild West 3D. A collection of carnival games with a Wild West theme. Cooking Mama 4 Kitchen Magic. I like the Cooking Mama series. It's pretty fun. And I don't mind that the protagonist is a female. This was also a launch title. It was called Steel Diver. Not a very good launch title. You basically, I don't know, you're steering a submarine through various obstacles up and down. I don't know, it just, there's not much depth to it. I'd say it was an El Cheapo title. Maybe it should have been released as a download for a demo. But it's not really worth, never was worth buying full price. Of course, you have to have Ridge Racer 3D. Dual Pin Sports. This is a bunch of sports titles with little kids graphics, but instead of just using the controllers, you use two styluses, which is unique. Haven't played it yet, but I heard it was fun. Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Summer Olympics or Olympic Games. A bunch of mini games. Hollywood Crimes. It appears to be like a kind of a Professor Layton type game with a bunch of puzzles in there. Harvest Moon, A Tale of Two Cities, an adaptation of a regular DS game. Resident Evil, The Mercenaries. This is basically a third-person shooter with basically you go through different challenges. It's not necessarily one big storyline, just a bunch of different challenges you go through, and you try to get higher scores and whatnot. Scribblenauts Unlimited. I admired Scribblenauts. I loved Super Scribblenauts. Haven't played Scribblenauts Ultimate yet though, Unlimited. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't know why I haven't played it yet. I got so backlogged. But I will someday because I love Scribblenauts. But that's Scribblenauts Unlimited. I got this one brand new at my BX for 20 bucks. Madden NFL football. This is a great rhythm game if you like rhythm games, but it's tough. Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. It's from what I understand, from what I've seen so far, it's kind of short, but the rhythm games are excellent and they are challenging, but not so challenging that you can't get them eventually. But it's a tough game, but it's still fun, and the main character is a charming character. I would love to see a sequel to this sometime. Brunswick Pro Bowling. Cartoon Network's answer to Super Smash Bros. Punch Time Explosion, featuring all the Cartoon Network characters, the popular ones. Mahjong Cube 3D. It's basically, instead of Mahjong like on a table and you just pick out pairs, it's in a bunch of, everything's lined up in different shapes and arrangements, and you have to try and bind the pairs like you would regular Mahjong. I would love to see an old-fashioned Mahjong game for the handhelds, like where they have Kongs and Pows, or Pongs and Chows, and pairs and stuff like that. I would love to see that. I love playing that on the PC, but I haven't seen it anywhere else. Here's a remake of an old game, I think, from the Super NES games or the PC time. Gem Smashers. Jaws, Ultimate Predator. A remake of Myst. Bust-A-Move Universe. It's basically just Bust-A-Move with the title Universe after it. Nothing special about this, but if you love Bust-A-Move, you'll like this. Angry Birds Trilogy. They had a spin-off with the pigs, but I forgot what the name of it is. But I'd love to see that on a handheld. But it's basically the same games that are on the iPad or iPhone, which is pretty good. So they're pretty good games. Sonic Generations. Adventure Time. Hey, Ice King. Why'd you steal our garbage? From what I understand, this is basically a Legend of Zelda's 2 Link's Adventures, the Adventures of Link clone. And it's gotten real good reviews. That's why I bought it. So, or otherwise I probably wouldn't pay attention to it. I don't watch the show. It just seems kind of silly to me. Splinter Cell 3D. Pokemon Rumble Blast, Frogger 3D, one of my absolute favorite games on the 3DS so far. It's a sequel to the Super Mario Lands from the old Game Boy games, Super Mario Land 3D. I don't know why there hasn't been a sequel to it since the Game Boy days. They were excellent games. I would love to have seen one on the Game Boy Advance. But there's that. Remake of the classic Boulder Dash XL 3D. Wipeout 3. Mario Kart 7. I like this game, but I don't like it as much as the Mario Kart on the DS for some reason. It just didn't grab me. The graphics are just as good. The races are fun. It just, I don't know, it just didn't grab me this time. But if you're a Mario Kart fan, you'll like it. Theatrhythm, Final Fantasy. This seemed kind of disjointed to me, and some of the games seemed rather easy. I wouldn't mind getting a sequel to this where it's one big story instead of a bunch of different ones. Maybe one big epic story and done with a little bit of variety. Top Trumps, NBA All-Stars. Apparently there's a bunch of these kind of games in England. I'd like to get the Doctor Who one for the DS. 50 Classic Games 3D. Paper Mario Sticker Star. Classic Games Overload. Jewel Master Cradle of Rome 2. I don't know what the difference between this and other Jewel Master games are besides the layout of the game, but I'd like to know. I like to match 3 games, as people already know. Shin Megami Tensei. This is a remake of the Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor for the DS. This one's Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked. Dream Trigger 3D. This is kind of a 3D shooter, but the graphics are a little wonky. The graphics are good, but they're kind of hard to see because they're so overcrowded, and the controls, I think, are a little wonky. Epic Mickey Power of Illusion. I hate Epic Mickey on the Wii. I think that game absolutely sucks. I remember I played it one time and I was screaming so loud and getting so angry. My neighbors had to come downstairs and tell me to turn it down. So that's when I just got rid of it. It's one of the few games that I've actually returned back to the store for credit. This is based on Mickey's Magic Castle. It's got a little bit of that in it, and it got pretty good reviews. That's why I got it. So I have better hope for that game. Rabbids Rumble. Captain America Super Soldier. The Oregon Trail. Resident Evil Revelations. This is an excellent game. It's a third-person shooter. It's got a bunch of different missions divided into episodes, like a television show. And if you like Resident Evil, you'll love this game. It's not really scary, but it's just plain fun. Fire Emblem Awakening. I love the Fire Emblem series ever since I saw it on the Game Boy Advance. It's I haven't played it much so far. The graphics are beautiful. The animation is beautiful. The cutscenes are great. They say it's a very unforgiving game, but I'm going to find out. It's probably going to be my next game after I finish another game I'm playing, but there it is. The new Super Mario Bros. 2. I love the new Super Mario Bros. 1 from the DS. This one, it just felt derivative. It just felt like it was the same old, same old. Some of the special, more fun modes, where he turns into a giant and destroys everything, you barely see that in this game. But graphics are beautiful and all that, but it's not one of the better Super Mario games. Deer Drive Legends. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Virtue's Last Reward. This is a sequel to a game called 9 Rooms, or 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. And critics love that game. Me, I didn't like it because it was too much reading and not enough gameplay. This one seems to strike a better balance. Haven't played it through yet, but the puzzles are really, wow. You really have to sit and think about them for a while. But that's okay. It makes a good game. I'm just not much into the story. Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask, I've been playing this, but it just hasn't grabbed me like other Professor Layton games, and I love the Professor Layton games, but this one, I don't know, it just doesn't, I find it rather boring, a lot of backtracking and all this, a lot of chatter, and I just don't like this one as much. I'll finish it, but I really don't like it as much. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, beautiful looking game, rather complex gameplay so far, more complex than I can recall any Kingdom Hearts gameplay, but you might want to check it out. If you like Kingdom Hearts, you'll definitely like that game. Transformers Prime, the game. I wasn't going to get this game, but it got such good reviews that I decided to go ahead and buy it anyway. It's a spin-off of the Transformers Prime series that just got canceled recently. So, American Mensa Academy. This is kind of like a Brain Age, and the individual puzzles are pretty fun, but they got Mensa tests you can take, and those tests are freaking hard. I mean, they are hard, but you can increase your score every day if you practice. But it's a good game. If you like Brain Age, you'll like this game too. I think it's pretty good that it came under the radar and everything. But okay, these last games are games that I bought in late February and March. So these are part of my pickups video. Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate. This is probably the weakest, one of the weakest Castlevania games I've ever played. It doesn't last very long. The controls get really sluggish, especially when you start to fight boss battles. The graphics are just plain dark. You know, I want some. You know, you got all that palette in there. You put in a better, you know, another palette besides gray. The cutscenes are pretty good. The story is really confusing, but you can go back and find hidden areas in each chapter and whatnot. If you like Castlevania, you might like this one. I hated the original Castlevania game for the NES. I tried playing that the other day, and it just plain sucked. I think that's a very overrated game. But other than that, I like the Castlevania series. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Everybody I talk to loves this game. I have to start it pretty soon, but they say the learning curve is really steep, which I kind of like, but we'll see. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon goes to infinity. I haven't played it yet. This is an excellent game. It's kind of slow starting at first, but once you stick to it, it's kind of a blast. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, a sequel to the GameCube game. Apparently it wasn't very popular when it first came out, but this is pretty fun. I like it. Naruto Powerful Shippuden. NCIS 3D. It's basically an adventure mystery type game where you're looking for clues in a scenario and trying to figure out the mystery. Harvest Moon, A New Beginning. I believe this game was actually designed for the 3DS itself. And last but not least, Etrian Odyssey 4, Legends of the Titans. Okay guys, that's my 3DS collection. I hope to have an even bigger collection by this time next year. And I'll be bringing out my pickups video pretty soon and go from there. If you have any suggestions as to what I should put on these videos, now that I'm at pixelbit.com, please let me know. It'll be under JB and Minot. And I'm on YouTube, of course. You already know that. Just tell me, give me any suggestions as to how to make these videos better and what else to add to these videos. In the meantime, Easter's coming. I hope you all had a good Friday and a happy Easter. In the meantime, God bless you. Bye-bye.